Hello and welcome back. We are covering the window framework for UI Toolkit. In this video we'll be adding the memory feature and a little bit of content to our demo window so we can open up the other windows. When we left off, we had set up our scene, added the window controller, added our themes. We started a basic UI manager which simply opens a static window in the scene. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change this window around. We're going to remove the header and footer and resize it for some buttons, and we're going to place it up here in the left corner as representation of some static UI element. Every game has some way to access your menus, so that's what we're going to simulate here. Over here in Rider, I've already set up a few things here. Here is the line of code that made the window we just saw. We're going to comment that out and uncomment this other code that I've already added. Now, the only difference here is we don't really need a title because we're going to get rid of the header. I've changed the width and the height, set it to locked, told it false on the show header and footer, and told it to open to the top right. Now, the window frame position works as an enum, so you can see you have a bunch of choices here. Just pick one that best suits your starting position, or if it's locked, then that's where it'll stay. We're going to go top right. And then for the content of the window, I just made a quick method called create content. Now, this create content method simply returns a visual element, which is a container holding a couple of buttons. These buttons have click events on them. This one will open the new custom window type, which allows us to do window memory. And the other one will open the settings view, which is a starter point for offering settings. And we'll show you that here in a second. Now, in order to make custom window types that have memory, we have to make an actual custom window type, which is just a public class. Name it whatever suits your design, whatever the purpose of this particular window is, ideally. And instead of inheriting from mono behavior, you inherit from window frame. Within that class, you just do a constructor and set up your defaults for the window. Now the important parts are memory enabled, window ID, and parent object ID. And you can see up here by the rules that I've entered here for you, window must have a window memory enabled set to true, which here it does, for example. Window ID for the window. This can be static as the window type or dynamic. What that means is you can put anything you want in there. The memory lookup works off of the type, which is defined here, and the window ID and the parent object ID. That way you can set this as a static. You can pass in the parent object ID and have one inventory window that opens for many different containers, or a vendor, or a whatever in your world, but they all have the same, whatever needs that same layout and look and content that you've built. So that's all you got to do to make a window that has memory. Really easy. We'll go back over here to Unity and we'll show you what we've come up with now. We hit play. So now you can see the window now opens up here. It's locked. We can't move it or anything. So, you know, granted the buttons are a little ugly, but they suffice for the demo. You could change them to images or icons or whatever you want to put up there. But if we click on Open Settings window, you can see we have our settings window. You can turn on and off a few features here on the window framework, your fade times, etc., just like in the other primary demo. Feel free to reuse this, make it prettier, whatever. You can see that your themes work that we've set up. But the important part is the custom window that we created, which is here. Now, here is our new custom window. You can, if you remember, we gave it a title of custom window with memory, etc., etc. Now that window is now created, and its memory will get remembered. So if we close it, we can reopen it. It will reopen in that same spot. But right now, as of right now, when we stop our change from play session from start to start, it remembers the window when we click it to open, but it does not reopen automatically. Now, to enable that feature is really easy. Back here in Writer, it's one line of code, window frame controller, access the instance, tell it to reopen Windows. Now, you want to do this at the appropriate time in your startup sequence. You don't want it to start blasting Windows over your startup windows, etc. So obviously you want to call that at the appropriate time. We'll come back over to Unity. Hit play. And you can see now that window automatically reopens when we start our play session. Do it one more time. And there you go. Now, the great part about this is it will also remember if it was closed. It will not try to reopen it automatically. So it does remember its status, whether it was open or closed. But it also remembers where it was, even if it was closed. So if the player has that particular window closed when they close the game, the next time they click the button or whatever it was that opens that window, it will open in the same place as it was when they closed it. Now the idea, again, being that you use those window IDs, window ID and parent ID, along with the type, to then look up whatever data it is you're trying to fill with content. And window ID and parent ID are strings. The type is just a get type to string, and it gives you a name, etc. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email. Contact us on our website, garage-ware.com. And look us up on the Unity Asset Store. And thank you for your time.